Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Thursday edition of The Closing Argument. I am Jerome Gayman, and I am tuning in from the great state of Florida. Beautiful weather here today. We are doing very well. Hopefully, you are too, wherever you are. That's some great news for you. We're going to go around the country, look at what's happening, and then we're going to touch on some current events. We will talk about some issues that may grab your interest. As usually we say, the closing argument is your window to the world. Whatever that you want to hear about, you want to know about outside of Liberia, this is why we are here, well-rounded. We bring you news that you agree with, some that you disagree with, some news that we all agree with, and some news that we all disagree with, but that's what this platform is all about. It is about critical thinking. Nothing is manufactured. I also like the late night edition of our show where is no holds bar. You go out there and just bring out topics that we may have missed. Topics that may not have made the headline news. That's why the late night edition is informal, but very informative. As we get news live from the folks in the neighborhood, they call in and tell us what's going on. It's not everything that happens in your neighborhood that makes the front pages of the papers. So we understand that. So the late night edition, we want to stick out our hat to the chief himself, Tomalin George, Dr. Peabody, Ben Sanvee, Robert Garguah, anyone that can come on and make it very interesting, and people like that. Also, it's 5 o'clock here in the U.S. Eastern Time. It's 9 o'clock in Monrovia, GMT. For those of you who usually come to class late, I think we're going to have Mr. Myean to be the class prefect to start taking roll, who's coming in early, who's coming in late. So we can reward those that come to school on time, those who participate. We have to be taking notes and giving credit to where credit is due. You know, many times folks will come in, we have gone over these notes, we have discussed them, and then someone comes to class very late and says, you know, I didn't hear you talk about my issue. And then we have to regurgitate. Well, you know, this is the United States. Everybody has their cartoon to push. If you are a nurse, you got to go push your cartoon. If you're an MD, a medical doctor, you still have to go to work. If you are a lawyer, you got to work. That is the dignity of labor in these United States. When they say you are a doctor and you're going to work from 12 to 12, you are going to work from 12 to 12. There's no such thing as coming in late and leaving early. No. So we understand when you come in late, you have to take care of the family. The closing argument is being set aside as a credible institution. I didn't say that. You heard a Liberian diplomat, Dr. Dunn, says the way we carry ourselves, the way we conduct ourselves, the way we discuss issues, it is not only setting us aside, but setting us apart from the got you journalism or podcast and news-making podcasts, people who are doing it just to get ratings and views. And one of my former government officials from the Ellen Government Time says, I come on usually at 4 and I rush over to, she says, I get my notification from Spoon FM and I go out there and get some G's. But when it comes to 5 p.m., I switch to the closing argument to get the news, to discuss real issues. That says a lot about who we are. And we pride ourselves on that. We want to pay homage to those who came up with this idea, those who have sustained this idea, our partners who keep supporting us. We have a great team of journalists and reporters on the ground that do a lot of work for us. So we want to thank everyone for tuning in every day. This is a service to country. It's not only sitting in the office in Liberia, they appointed you minister or director. Service to country is what we do here, free of charge. I think in 1961, John F. Kennedy said it in his speech. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? Let me welcome the Honorable Dean of the Cabinet. Pewee, the lady said they'd like to see you with your glasses on, man. What happened? You are muted.
I'm about to pull it. I'm gonna get it quick.
Okay, but welcome to the show.
Thank you so kindly, Mr. Gayman. It's good to see you. Very energetic and moving, kicking very well.
That's correct. You know, in Liberia and in our culture, they will wait until you die, then they come and start saying things that are not even true. They will start saying things that are not even true. How great you were, how nice you were. Even people that despise you, people that disgrace you, people that didn't even want to hear your name will come over your body and lie deliberately that Pewee was the best human being. He was this, he was that. Why do they lie? Yeah. So what we have decided to do here on the closing argument is to give your flowers before that day comes.
Absolutely. And you know, it's the tendency of African, particularly Liberians. They love to tell your story when they don't know you. You cannot tell someone's story if you don't know them. You can be a very good storyteller if you understand the story you want, or you know this. Not only understand, you have to know the story. I have to know that Mr. Gayman was. If I want to tell Mr. Gayman's story, I say, "Oh yeah, Mr. Gayman. No, I know. Yeah, he was born in Haiti." It's live, bro. Not born in Haiti.
Right. At least you can say I knew him. We worked together on the show.
Exactly.
That's factual. You can't make those up. But the wait until you die. When they say Pewee is sick, and the people say, guys, our homeboy is sick. Let's put a few dollars together and make sure he get his surgery. Nobody does it.
No, nobody gonna do that.
So Pewee died. Send me the link, man. Let me make my contribution. Can you imagine?
Exactly, and it shouldn't be that way. You don't have to wait for someone if you cannot have, and that's it. Someone is sick, and the person is an SOS call for the person. We agree that basically you're not responsible for. If Mr. Gayman is sick, whatsoever, I'm not really responsible for it for him being sick. But as comrades and other things, we have to share. Because if I would be willing to go and put more money into someone that is already sick than someone that is alive, well, we can all have to make the man be around. But we won't do that. You're right. It's always the case. But then if the person is gone, then you see a lot of contributions are put in. And sometimes we'll raise the money more, more than what was required to have it treated.
That's correct.
Right? In certain instances, those kind of money will be raised, and bulk of the money now that will be raised now. It just, the professor Rumba was saying something one other time. I was talking to him. He said, those kind of time, then we spend lavishly during the funeral. Someone that was struggling. And then you see the person's funeral, you see the kind of thing going on that we have this. They want to have beyond the repast, some of them will have different nomenclature that were attached to it. And then they want to do this cook out. Come on, what the hell? You want to be doing that? Someone is deceived. No, generally it's acceptable to go to the general repast. That would know after that people will have to go have some refreshment or other thing. Thereafter, it's done. And particularly if that person is someone that got younger children or children basically to be taken care of. But they raise most of the money during that funeral and lavishly spend those money. Then how do you expect um, how do you come to the realization here and you expect things to move on? So yes, that's my tendency, Jeremy. I love to give it to people who are the interaction of. So I say, yeah, this bastard man look good. We everything.
we we
Yeah.
we have to give our flowers. Like you have a family, you got a young family. You drop your daughter off, you picking her off, you dropping the kids off, but you making the time to come here where you don't get paid. Uh, Nothing is given to you. You show up every day, diligently discussing, teaching, criticizing, and they're criticizing you in return. We're going back and forth. For nation is for nothing else but for the good of our people, and we say for the better good of our folks and our country. So I want to give you your flowers before anything happens. We have to say these things. We have to. The I think when Dr. Don was here, he said something, but then last night, we had our guest, Dr. Soma, and he says we need a revolution in Liberia. That everybody jacked. He said, the man calling for revolution, he said, no, I'm talking about the mental revolution. We need a mental revolution. We have to reset the way we think, the way we do our things, the way we connect with each other, the way we look at things, our perspectives on almost from religion to politics to family. We have to change it around. So he was talking about this mental revolution. And it clicked to me that yes, we are all singing the same song. Government after today, my daughter, we were just going over some stuff, and we came across this article in Front Page Africa, where the managing director of Water and Sewer, I think is Mo Ali, I think his name is, he's shaking hands with the president of the University of Liberia because they are going to renovate the toilets. Can you imagine us, the university, our premier university of Republic of Liberia, they're going to renovate the bathroom and stuff. And that is, according to him, it should be on the front pages of the paper. It's national news. And she said, but daddy, to repair bathroom, the call press conference. This is how mundane some of these things are. But to these politicians, as though what he's doing to the children of that school who parents pay taxes, he's doing them a favor by repairing the bathroom. Girls and boys, like bathroom is a human right. So I looked at it, and then it dawned upon me that Dr. Soma said something, struck a chord. We need a mental revolution. Can you imagine that for international folks to read that repairing our bathrooms on all the campuses is national news, as though they're doing them a favor? Your take on that?
Oh yes. It being so that would tell you that the bathroom being a mess. That would tell you that we don't have good, and it's one of the major challenge we all collectively face. Trust me, Mr. Gayman. Back home when I was staying in the University of Liberia, it would be a very difficult thing. Imagine you have a student population around the main campus of the University of the Capitol Hill campus. That campus, because the rest of currently I think the University of Liberia has got 5 campuses, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We
Yeah,
have the
that's
main
correct.
campus, we have the St. J campus, we have the Fender campus, one other, yeah, but 4 or 5 thereabout. But the main campus, is where we have the bulk of the population, the student population. We have approximately before they did some decentralization, because at the time when we were at the university before our graduation, uh, bulk of the activities were actually centralized in terms of the main campus. So the population there alone, imagine the business college. The business college alone population will be more than 8 to 9,000.
Woo.
Business college, probably I may be slightly, but yeah, that about, yeah, 8 to 9,000. The business college. Yes, I'm not. Maybe I may be even be wrong. Maybe I'm be citing the right number, but 8 to 9,000. That about. You talk, you move back to liberal college. So the population of the main campus alone, basically at the time, because everything was just
Mhm.
centralized, was around maybe 25 to 30,000.
Woo.
25 to 30,000. Imagine 25 to 30,000 students conversion every day on that campus, uh, and then they expected, and the bathroom systems. So that maybe the TH building we have, if I can recall, the TH building we have. I mean, bathroom the TH building have one or two or less or one, and the bathroom is not the kind of way we do this bathroom on this, like those university people university campus or the different campuses we have, or high school
Oh,
campus.
yeah.
Yeah, in a place spread out. You enter in one huge room. You
Make
have
about
these,
10 stalls,
yes,
10
10 of
toilet
those,
booth.
yeah, 10
Yeah.
stalls and 10 or to not 15, 12 toilet booths. But the last time I was on Neckmark Stadium in New York and Jersey, I entered one of the, and the way they did the bathroom, the sequence is
Yeah.
well, you enter in one of them, you see, you know that people are ready to, because this stadium is a stadium of a capacity of around, I think 80 to 85,000.
Hmm.
Every block you pass, you have a huge bathroom that will serve. That you see him up in, but there's no one that want to peep or do any other thing or do number two. There will always be space for you to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because they plan. But unfortunately, no. There's one of the classes that even had a special project behind the the TH building that they have to do some bathroom project there. Imagine student was stand in queue to use bathroom. Jimmy, you accept it? So it's been a problem. So the fact that you see the and again, you enter some of those bathrooms sometime, some student will go and use the bathroom, but there's no water. The sewage system is broken,
Jesus.
because the reservoir will bring, so that there will be no water. Then you might someone will go there. And, I mean, when the jet will move in, they will use it, no water, they then leave, newspaper leave and get out. And then the next student, he's a bit terrible. Mr. Gayman, I'm telling you that. So then you go see someone, the camo, because they only had a store and other things. The camo you're going to use, someone already use it, and you want to pee, you have to go and do that. So at the end of the day, many students that just want to pee, they won't even use the bathroom. They'll have to go behind some of those buildings and just do that. The sanitary condition was getting terrible. It was not even getting, it was terrible. So to see and to fix that problem, we need to fix the sewage system there to make sure that water system is running through all of the toilets. I mean, it helps even at that you say have some reckless one, but even at that can significantly help to reduce this. So it's a big thing, Mr. Gayman, to be honest. It's bad. The campus is bad. So they have to do that, because if you have a water system running effectively and efficiently, it will help to allow people to do things. But the university said backward. I don't think we should be struggling with one state university of a country. I don't think we should be struggling. If we did it some years back, almost 15 years, almost, I graduated from the university. And you have to think now to understand clearly that the government that will not be moving in, government will come, government will go. But every government will have to learn from the past. Madam Salif government started pumping some money. I can recall when Kamara was Minister of Finance, that was the first time they started pushing this issue. Because university professor was, imagine someone that was getting 2, 3, 4,000 Liberian dollars.
Hmm.
Madam Salif came and changed the pay grade in the university, and brought some pride to university professors and instructors and part-timers. They started making some very good money. Salary went to 1,000 plus and other things, along both in Liberia and US dollars. right? So, but there's always problem, and I think I saw that photo today with more. I think it's a good thing that he's trying to intervene. To be very very frank, I mean that will hurt. Be honest, and that will hurt the university because when we were at the University of Liberia, it was terrible. It was not a good thing at all, and I hope that we improve on that. So if you see them, Mr. Given, something you have to understand the system. You have
Wow.
to talk to your daughter
I
on
mean,
that.
you guys,
It be a serious problem there. It be a
yeah,
problem, and I tell you.
you guys were really, really
Yeah.
abused.
You know, the poor builders build. I don't know how to have to do that, and it's not good because, for instance, there are buildings that I've seen in this country or campuses was built 20, 25
Oh,
years
we're talking
ago.
about 100 years ago.
But the Bible system, they knew that this building is meant for this number of people. They will do everything to keep that building to live for the next 100 years. It will meet
Yep,
the demands, and
that's
that it should
correct.
be. How will you build building like TH building, one of the biggest building or the biggest building, the Tottenham building on the University of Liberia campus, with a lot of classroom and offices? You have less than 3 bathrooms. What will you do that? And there's no public space. What will you do that? And then if you move back to the FQ building, if I can be corrected here, my American recall very well, the FQ building, I don't even know we have bathroom in the FQ building. Now, the GD building will have some bathrooms. Yeah, the GH building will have some. The FQ building, I don't know that. So it's a serious problem. Even in that mission building, it's maybe they'll have maybe a couple of them. But these are public area, major public area that's expected. The current population of University of Liberia before Mr. Weah left office was between 35 to 40,000 students. So imagine, I don't know now the current population because when the Weah mission struck in this tuition free, the population have grown to that number, between 35 to 40,000 students on all of the campuses, if you will. Bulk up the student base now, both on the University of Liberia campus and the Federal campus, because of time before we left when we left now, they have transferred most of the students, the Liberal College, Agricultural College, Science College, Business College. Most of the business college students were still basically on the main campus, but most of the activities of all the other colleges they were already transferred. The intent was to even use the main campus now for graduate studies for the different graduate program, because the GD building have always been the hub for graduate studies. Yeah, the gas dump behind and around the Southern Maris University, going to that and overlooking the Jaratown area. So it been some serious issue that we have to collectively attack this issue about the University of Liberia. I mean, we have to do that. It will have to be, if there will have to be another national conference by major intellectual stakeholders, Jerome, and we all, even that in the diaspora, can start to give some proposal. They will have to do that, and by doing that, you have to attack this area. Maybe you have to set the clouds on. Now, the kind of individual armchair, that wood type of armchair, we have to graduate from that stage now. This, we in modern time. You can be having the way back wood kind of an armchair when the government can put some money into place and procure some of those second-hand armchair people don't want to run off on the side.
Yeah,
You can purchase those that the university student, or even the news in the very high school here. There's no way you can you get most of those back in the country.
but look,
We have to engage, man. We have to do that.
This is why I keep saying people have to be creative. If you came to the United States and you went to where they manufacture these benches, right? These desks, and you told the manufacturer that you need a subsidiary in Liberia for them, transporting the thing would be too much. So just come and build these factories that bend these teachers. They are not big factories at all. And the machinery that work on these things are not so sophisticated. They are simple. So what happens if one of these companies came to Monroe and gave them Bassa or Vanjima, wherever, and give them exclusive right to supply the entire country to make it worth their while? They will come and do that. But people are not thinking outside the box. The chief sent us some updates on some issues in Liberia, and let's go through them real quick. And then later on, we can discuss. It said normal classes at the William V. Tubman High School in Monrovia were suspended on Thursday today after students and administrators discovered blood stain on the walls and floors of the classroom. The incident caused panic on campus, with some students reportedly fainting. I mean, that much blood in the classrooms and on the floors. Did somebody get killed? Did somebody get wounded? I mean, to have that much blood to the extent that somebody will faint. Authorities of the Monrovia Consolidated School System, MCSS, order all students to leave campus and now that classes will resume on Monday. According to MCSS Communication Director Samuel Myean, initial report from campus security indicate that blood stain may have been linked to an attempted burglary. He explained that the suspect was chased by security personnel and allegedly escaped, leaving blood stain all over the place. The MCS has also notified the Liberian National Police, who have launched an investigation into the matter. Serious bleeding on campus, and they say a burglar was on campus? Burglary? How is that possible? Somebody went to break in. I mean, you being government, you have this security. How is that possible? If somebody were breaking into the campus, did the person jump through the window and they got caught, or how could this be? Did they get into a fight with someone? Mr. Pewee?
I think what we have to do now is that there is need for the MCSS authority, the Monrovia Consolidated School System Authority, particularly the superintendent, who of course is the head of their institution. We have to contact the Liberian National Police so they can begin what we want to call the immediate investigation to find out what led to that blood stain all over the place. They will have to investigate that. But again, unfortunately for us, we do have most of the forensic department, but we're lacking with a lot of things. How do you now move to conduct any investigation when under blood you have? But again, if it was on this end, that would have been a very major prima facie for them to use to just run something, and they would have gotten to basically who committed say act. But again, the fight they didn't see nobody. It will be a little difficult. It's not impossible, and with the police got own skill of understanding the ground game as to how they will collect most of the first go on the crime scene, do what we refer to as the preliminary assessment of of what unfolded, and then they was begin interrogating those that were. Now we first and foremost have to understand all of these MCSS schools do have private security. I don't know if the state doing that to ensure that there's security on campus. There's security on campus in the day. There should be security on campus in the night. But again, due to some reckless and the way we're doing things in our country, we don't pay more attention to these things. When school is done, it's done. Everybody will have, even the security men will check the time when it's around 6:30 and start getting dark. He's gone. Because no one is there supervising them, and if they're given a contract of a particular private security firm, and then you have certain security firm that can be very proactive in terms of even supervising their employees. But most of the other security firms, the guys will just go sometime in the evening, sit fun place in the corner, and they sleep overnight. The next day they're done, they go, because no one's going to be held accountable for anything that is done. So I will hope the superintendent will now begin the process of liaison with the Liberia National Police, and maybe they can ask if there are security at the school. That's a major high school, a public high school that require full-time security service in terms of and that the MCSS will budget for, because the premises of this institution will have to be protected, Mr. Gayman. But again, I don't know what is the entire budget program for the MCSS school system in the country, but it's concerning. I hope they will go beyond that and do some more deeper investigation and come out with some facts and in keeping with. I mean, because it's clear you sense some level of panic within the student community there, and so they will have to understand what happened. Other than that, Liberia is one country that people also believe in those kind of a superstitious belief. Before people believe that it was some spiritual cleansing that went on, and other things that will intimidate or scare certain students from coming. So it is important that they really do some deeper investigation and come out with some satisfactory results that will tell us who did what. The fact that they got the bloody good news that. But I think it's important to really emphasize these things. But it's a very scary situation here.
Great. Myean, I just sent you the tape. We're going to be looking at some health issues in Liberia. The video that I've been making the rounds, I was able to authenticate from Hot FM that yes, it was their undercover investigation that produced the tape. It is from the JFK Medical Center, where women, mothers that have just had baby in the maternal ward, are sharing beds. It is so disheartening. We have that video. Hopefully, Myean can have it ready so we can look at it. And then that will also lead us into the situation in Grand Bassa, in my own hometown, in Lower Buchanan, where the government hospital, pregnant women didn't have beds and they had to have their babies on the floor, from what I understand. These are terrible things that we need to flag. If Myean is ready, we'll look at that. But while he's getting ready, let's go to your area. There are two issues that you have expertise in, and we need to flag them. One is our president, President Joseph Yuma Boakai, met with the crowned Prince of Kuwait, and he pledges expanded cooperation to work with Liberia. This is great. This is part of the diplomacy. You will educate us on that. The second one is former President Salih urges global leaders to commit to peace, call for dialogue over conflict, uphold the UN Charter in safeguarding global security. These are the two news that are coming from the UN, and nobody else is even more qualified to discuss this than you. So I'm glad that you are here. This one is, you will see the president and the two leaders, the leader from Kuwait and the president from the Republic of Liberia, discussing bilateral issue. And the next one is our former president, President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, speaking to the United Nations, telling them that we have to recommit to global peace. Yesterday, you were here when the president of the UN said that the objective of the UN is off track, that colonialism, it is still well and alive. And she says the UN has to recommit. And then today, the Prime Minister of Israel called the United Nations an organization or anti-Semitic swamp. So this is Myean. Are you ready? Myean did
Yeah,
a great job.
I'm ready.
Okay, look at this, Your Honorable. Uh, Myean did a great job in Buchanan today. After we play this video, he will come and give us update on what happened in Buchanan. Yes, go ahead, roll
So
it. Tape.
this is the JFK one here. We'll pay the
Yes,
JFK one. Yeah, okay.
yes. See several women in the same bed. Okay, so what you are looking at here are the maternity ward at the JFK. These are mothers that just gave birth, and each of them should be in a bed. Instead, you got several women on one bed, and it is so disheartening. But Maya talked to us what you witnessed today in my hometown of Buchanan, the government hospital in Bassa.
Okay, so Mr. Gayman, if you take a walk or if you visit Grand Basso Health Center, most especially the thing
Can you
that's
come?
very joy.
Can you come on camera, please?
Okay, yes. So let me see if I can put the camera on. Can you see me now?
Yes, there you go. Oh, I love your background. I love those
Oh, okay.
colors.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So basically, what I'm talking about is this: if you take your camera in Grand Basso, most especially at the government hospital, because that hospital is the only government hospital within Buchanan, right within the city part of Grand Basso County. If you just take a visit at the area, you will see that the hospital is packed. You see so many community dwellers. You see so many citizens residents of that area going at that hospital for treatment. And then looking at that hospital to be one of the main focus in the entire Grand Basso, for you to see that the hospital cannot afford the bill that baby's mother who just give birth to be able to lie down on, but rather the ones that are there are already spoiled. They are beyond repair, wherein we experience that if a mother give birth and then the mattress that are available, if they are lying down on it and another pregnant woman comes in, she gave birth there, she'll be able to use that mattress, and then the person who gave birth before her will be able to move from that mattress and then go in the other room. If the room that they are sending her in, she's not going there with a baby, but rather she'll leave the baby in a specific room. In that room that she's going, it does not have a mattress, neither a place that they will be able to lie down, but rather it's just a cold floor. You just carry your own. If you get bed sheet, you lay down and then you be there. If your baby is crying, the nurses or doctor will be able to call you and say, "Yeah, come." If you come in, you come in that room where your baby is lying on there, where they have. I mean, you I can be able to put the pictures also so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. There where you see, they will be able to sit in the chairs and then give their babies food. You can see. Can you see the video? The photo.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the photo. So this place that you are seeing is a special place there, just a small room where you can see the babies that are lying down, and then their mother is also in another room. So let me see if I can put the other photo in, so you can see where their mother sit, and they usually sit in a chair, just not that you see this living room chair. No, you see like the normal chair that people sit in, and then at times you just see them will be able to sit. They have three of that chairs there, wherein the women will sit there and then breastfeed their babies. Let me see where I can cue the video while I'm talking. Then you can better see it for yourself. Then the mattresses that they have there, let me see if I can put it up also. There's no side by side wherein if you are lying down, if you roll, you will not be able to fall down. Because according to the help for that area, I spoke with one of the biggest doctor from that area. He told me that they have so many cases wherein the baby will be able to fall on the ground and they cannot do anything. They cannot have any solution to it for now because they've been calling on lawmakers for in that district, most especially Senate President. But the only thing she could do was just to carry on little 1 or 2 AC in the area. So he was people was like asking if you carry AC in the area and then there's no bed that the people will be able to lie down on, or there's no facility that people will be able to use in the area just to carry AC, and then after that AC is there, there's nothing like generator. But if you carry your AC and then you need like or current or you need supply for that AC to be used, and then there's no machine, that AC will just be there, and then probably after a few times it's poor. So these are things that are affecting the people. But as we go on, let me see if I can play the video so you can listen to it yourself, and then listen to the people from that area in Grand Bassa, how the people are going through a lot in terms of healthcare. Because if you, most especially the one I'm looking at is the baby mother, or the young baby mother who just gave birth. There's no bed for them to even lie down on. So it's very, very terrible for our people. If you go to the Martina War, where you see so many people lying down there, it's very disgraceful for our country, most especially Green Bassa County, and where we see that one of the second, if I'm not mistaken, at the Senate, she's the first person at the Senate looking at or county to be like that. I think it's very, very shameful for our country. And as we go forward, let me see if I can play the video. Maybe I can be making a point on it. I try to play the video.
Honorable Pewee, this is my hometown, the second county, the second city. Buchanan, a referral hospital, don't even have generator, they don't have power, they don't have beds. A mother who gave birth will go and lie down on the floor. Wow.
It is, you know, and that is in is that in Buchanan City?
Yeah, that's the general hospital. That's the number one.
Yes,
that's
the Buchanan is here.
That's the
yes. The government hospital,
the
right
government
there.
hospital.
Yeah, right downtown.
This is. So, no, do we have shortage of beds?
Yes.
Yeah. We have a lot of footage. Let me see if I can
took
bring them
a
up.
lot of pictures. He shows some. We want to see where the women go to lie down. And
Yeah, I'll also, that's the video exactly I want to play, because the video will be able to show everything. This is some of the pictures of the bed where they lie down on.
So
let me here is some, and then we also have some here. Okay, so as you can see, okay, so this is where the baby mother they sleep. Just imagine, see the chairs. Here's the chair. This is the chair they usually sit in to breastfeed the babies. There's no mattresses that are available to sleep in. I'm trying to play the video.
But you toured the hospital today, Myean. Is it today?
It was on yesterday. I toured the hospital. Or yesterday.
You toured the hospital yesterday. Did you manage to talk to any of the out of the hospital administrator of the chief medical officer?
That's the voice I want to play. I spoke with the head for the facility.
To the hospital administrator.
Yeah,
that's what I want to play.
But take your time, find it. Look, it is. This is Grand Bassa County. We have We are blessed in that county to have all the big concession areas. We got metal steel, we got lock, we got what they call it, Valerium, the oil, the palm company. I mean, we got lots of big companies in the county. And we have, not only do we have big corporations in the county, we also have top officials in government, I mean in power. We have the president pro tem. We have the former president pro tem, who is now an experienced politician in the Senate. And it is. I'm gonna do as much as I can, Honorable Pewee, to get in touch with Mr. I think his name is Caillou Johnson. Is the new superintendent that was appointed by President Wakai. And from what I gather, he's a very progressive young man. We would love to bring him on so we can actually have a conversation. This is disheartening. This is disheartening for our mothers, our sisters, our wives. Yeah, you were saying something. You are muted. You are muted though. Oh, okay. Take your time. Go ahead. So while he's looking for them, we're going to be getting in touch with Mr. Honorable Caillou Johnson, to come on here and discuss some of these things. This is unacceptable. This is 2025. This is the modern era. These things should not be happening. This is not like 200 miles from the capital city. This is not 400 miles from the capital city. This is 88 miles from Liberia, from Monrovia. An hour and a half, maximum 2 hours of drive. We have access to the second largest and busiest seaport in the Republic, the port of Buchanan. We have ArcelorMittal. We have LAC, the Liberian Agriculture Company there. We have Palm Bay and several other companies in the Republic, in the county. They do pay their social development funds. They do pay their taxes. And the county does have money annually from these concessionaires. And what you are looking at there, let me say welcome to Honorable Jeremiah Bayoga. Thank you, from Georgia. He's watching. We are looking at Emmett Harmon from K-City. Thank you for tuning in. Lasana Dukle, I don't know where you're tuning in from, but welcome. What is the last name for Siafa? I think Siafa is Dix Foley Daniel. Good evening. I'm watching from, Omega Market Junction. Mr. Dopoh, thank you very much for tuning in. We have to do something about us. This thing that the folks call self-preservation. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our families.
Is that Gayman?
Yes.
Yeah, can we play the video?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so here we go. Wow, the internet here. Okay, so let's see. Just keep talking. Let me see if I can play it another way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys looking at the bed? Did you look at the railing of one of those beds? The rust, the corrosion on those beds. This is where a mother who gives birth supposed to be. The sense of urgency, for some reason, does not exist in our culture. Folks are fighting over brand new cars and the name and the brand of the car. But the most critical piece of our society, healthcare. No wonder when the big shots and the well-connected in the Republic of Liberia get sick, they request to be flown out of the country to Ghana, to Morocco, to India. A lot of money. Instead of us using some of that money at home to treat our own, if you put $1 million into the hospital, you will have a brand new hospital with equipment and everything else that you will need to treat the superintendent, the representatives from the county, the senators. But instead, they wait until they get sick, and then they charter a jet or charter a plane to take them to Ghana or Morocco or India. Tens of thousands of dollars. Instead of spending the money at home. So that is what you get if you are a regular Joe Blow in the Republic of Liberia. Like my Ellen used to say, leave yours with God. Leave your own with God. Our healthcare system, by saying it's bad, is an understatement. I know when the pro tem from Grand Bassa County gets sick, she flies to the United States, go to Pennsylvania, where she has her home and her properties, and see the best of doctors. When my good friend, Besser Garfield gets sick, he has access to the United States or Europe. When the representatives get sick, they got enough money. They can fly to Ghana, they can fly to India, they can fly to Morocco. But once it is the Irish person who makes $100 a month, $150 a month, and you are struggling to feed the family, and God forbid your wife or your child gets sick, you leave your with God, you're on your own. A few years ago, I think it was Front Page Africa that carried this story where at the JFK, if you were to give birth to a child and you don't have the money, they will arrest you and the child, and you are not leaving until you pay. There was such a backlash, so they changed their policy now they wouldn't even let you in some instances if you don't have your money. In a nation where 90% of our folks are unemployed, there is no money. The money circulating in the country is among those 5% at the top. Everybody else lays at the mercy of government officials. We are working to make sure that our stories are authenticated, they are not manufactured. And if you need proof, you can call and we can send a video to you to do your own private investigation. Or just take a walk to Buchanan. If you're in the Buchanan area, just take a walk to the General Hospital. Okay, I'm just getting a text here. This person said, this is news to you guys. But we who live here, all we got to do is go there. So this is no news. This person said, it is not news here to us. We know the condition of the hospital. It is new to you guys in the studio.
Yes, I've been on the line. Basically, I'm just trying to ascertain some facts. I've been getting some information that there's some challenge, but again, the Ministry of Health and that I'm getting some information that they will be citing the Minister of Health to really address the situation at the hospital there in Buchanan very well because but to just push this to our attention also, I've been informed just now. That's why on the phone I have to go to the back that we do have a 100-bedroom new hospital that's about to be very soon be fully completed. And
we understand that, Honorable Pewee.
Yeah, I'm coming. I'm coming, Jerome.
Yeah, I know, but you know the story now. They say they dry door sweep, but why are you going to be eating before?
And they were headed. Despite we are headed to that. That we anticipate seeing this hospital, is obvious that this is healthcare. People, there's a need for not interruption, no interruption in terms of the medical facility or the medical care of the people. So it's important to note that. But I think sometime next week or so, we'll be hearing that they will have to summon the Minister of Health to give reason why there's no sufficient bed and the hospital is facing some serious problems for newly born babies and the rest.
Yeah, but the one we showed earlier at JFK itself, our own, primary hospital with mothers sharing one bed. Look, I mean,
it's sad. It's sad, and I think it's about time that our leaders, particularly elected leaders, would take very important the oversight. Now, it's been unfolding back to back and time to time in the country that the executive would do whatsoever they intend to do because I don't see the first branch of government exerting her role for oversight. And her oversight responsibility is a statutory responsibility given to them by the Constitution of the country. And I think it's about time. And then where the check of balance is always, Mr. Gayman, it's important to note that the check and balance issue is very paramount here because there's a need to push most of those things through. If you were to see the caucus or the senators represented in Grand Bassa County showing reforming the plenary, and they bring the Minister of Health in front of the full plenary to ask her why is it most of the hospital. It's not only the hospital in Buchanan. You just spoke of JFK. That's a serious problem. And JFK, imagine JFK is the biggest referral hospital we have, the only major referral hospital. If that is the case and the hospital is in that kind of a shambles state, very dilapidated, very much it's unkept in terms of even the cleanliness. When you're sick, you're trying to find the hospital is a refuge area for you, not only to be given medication, Mr. Gayman, but the psychological terrain of that the environment should also be very comfortable. If you went to the hospital and see the hospital itself, if the hospital itself would be the source of you getting more sickness, then there's no need of going to the hospital.
No, you might well die home, right?
And it's part of the reason why I was talking to someone today. That's part of the reason why many folks are now saying they are reverting or going back to this issue about to herbalists. Because if the hospital is not serving the purpose, and many people start to take herbs that are on measure, uncontrollably taking some of those herbs that may even go to cause some problem within the internal organs, right? It's a problem. It's a problem. And that's one of the reasons why if folks cannot have confidence in the bank, they will result in taking their money home.
Yeah.
And then when the arm robbery hit and it's suddenly up. So we need to have, the public will have to have confidence in public institutions like the ministry, that the health sector, the educational sector, and those security sectors. Those are sectors that you need to have complete public confidence. If you
the banking sector.
Yeah, to erode public confidence, then we're headed for a serious problem. How can we mitigate this? Mitigate it in the long term. We have to be very, very much bent on this, all hands on decks, and to ensure that these things happen. But I think I want to say clearly to you, and I will try to reach out to Senator Finney and see. But I believe the last time he was here, we talked about this, and he said to me that I came with that there was a brand new hospital coming up soon, almost I think 100 or 150 bedroom, and they will be talking to the ministry to see, because that's Buchanan. Buchanan should be one of our major. That's a port city. You cannot have a kind of port city. For other reasons, we try to open up the place. Then you have those kind of videos coming up about pregnant women, newly born babies, and all of things. And children are coming to this world. So, but the oversight, I would prevail on him and the rest of the other officials to think about not only someone there, to someone the Minister of Health, but do some serious intervention. There's a need to do that. It's a need. That's your city, and that's a beautiful place to be. But if you are in Buchanan and something happened, boom, you would take it from Buchanan all the way to JFK?
Yeah.
No.
Obviously.
And actually, even at JFK say you not know what will happen there.
But we just had the gentleman who was the one of the managers for Hotel Buchanan. He got sick and they took him to JFK and there were no bed and he literally died in his car.
Oh.
Yes. This is a very good friend of mine, Emmanuel Rebo was sick. I think they say he either had a stroke or a heart attack.
What Emmanuel Rebo?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Hotel Buchanan?
Yes. He was in a, I think he was like, and he was principal of the year at one time. He was teaching, but he had his side the big guy. Yeah, the big guy.
I got to know him too. Ben Sanvee.
Oh yeah, he's the best guy, one of his campaign managers and lawyer.
Yeah. He came down with stroke briefly, then it didn't take long, and he passed.
That's correct. And they shared a photo with me sitting in a car in a parking lot waiting for bed at the JFK. This is what we are talking about. Okay, something happens in Buchanan, the second city, with the general hospital or the government hospital. They call it government hospital, but it's called the general hospital there. And it's a
what's the name of that hospital? Just government hospital?
Yeah,
did I get no specific name?
I think the name is the Basel General Referral General Hospital. That's the name.
Then you other area they get the Rainy Hospital, Cox City, JJ Dawson Hospital.
That's
that name.
They may have a name. We always knew it to be.
So the name is the Liberia Government Hospital, Grand Basel County. That's the name.
That's the
Liberia Government Hospital.
That's
all the great Basel people we had in our place. The Queen Pope Myean or something like in Vonyama, we have the Torgbean Hospital in Vonyama.
For that idea, we name it after you.
Yeah, you call it Pewee Hospital.
That's right, Pewee General Hospital and Referral Hospital. But just imagine people coming from River Says, some part of Magibi, some part of Lower Bong, some part of Lower Nima, going there at the referral center to that hospital.
Yeah, because that hospital should be the referral center for those in Riverses.
That's correct.
I mean, I know Sando County should have a. I think Sando will have one, but Riverses, I don't think Riverses got.
No, everybody comes from Riverside there.
Yeah, because
So,
Riverses, that I don't know now. By the time I went to Riverses, I asked myself why they made it play county. No, that's serious, Gayman. I felt very terrible why they refer to that place as county.
because
You enter Chester, you enter. We came from happened at the time. We did our program. We hit down in Chester. Beautiful. Listen, the topographic. That was a beautiful land to be
oh
frank.
yes,
You enter the place, you just see one big old and you see the beautiful sea. Chester, nothing there. You go one road, get in there. Jesus Christ! It's just a kind of the capital city for River there. I felt very, very bad, very terrible. So, I mean, we created these counties to open up the country, but I think the lack of proper planning and government oversight, because if you create those kind of counties, what you do every time in the year budget, you put money in the budget for each county for some development. So this year we're focusing on 5 counties, or let's say 3 counties. Each of the counties city will be opened up, the alleyway will be opened up, and we'll have to get some contracts and put to pave the city of those city, right? Of those county. Like for instance, county like Rosa, it's not a very huge county, but again, it's one of the very inaccessible county. The county is small and very inaccessible. Why can't you pave Chester, open Chester up? Because Chester is beautiful, the Atlantic Ocean, all the scenery they have. You open that thing and you open those things up for tourist attraction points, right? Because there's a lot of beautiful area tourists want to go and see. Chester to Buchanan is not far. You pave the road between Buchanan City and Chester City. Everybody need very beautiful Chester. Beautiful, but nothing there. Nothing whatsoever.
I remember when President Ellen Johnson went to Riverside. She said it herself. She was so disappointed. They said she turned to Gabriel McIntosh and said, McIntosh, I'm in Riverside and I have to go spend the night at the Pillar of Fire or some kind of church place. There is all the folks that come from Boston that you heard about from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they all came from Riverside. All the brilliant people.
They play volleyball, even nothing extra.
All the brilliant people. The Gabriel McIntosh, the Nathaniel Besigye, the G. Von Smith. I mean, you name it, going all the way back. Absolutely nothing. Ellen said, she told them, this is terrible and disappointing. They said she didn't mince her words. She said the SS, the PP, the security force, had to sleep in their cars.
No way. I go to that place 2020. What's that? 2023? No, 2023. 2005 was the election. 2004. I saw that place. I felt terrible, and nothing have changed significantly. Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
I seen it. I think when Ellen was in 2012 or 11 after the election they had the county, the celebration. The July 26th celebration, I went to Riverside. It was embarrassing, she said. All these people came and nowhere to sleep, including the president. Had to sleep to basically ask the church. So she turned to David McIntosh and said, what is going on? You've been in government at all levels. You don't even have a house here to host people. So this is what the folks are going through. And we are hoping, I know you said, every time you call, folks will tell you, this pie in the sky kind of thing, we're getting a new hospital coming in. Listen, humanity cannot wait. People life goes on. Children will be born. Women will be pregnant. We will have these issues. This is why when they do city planning and urban planning, they do forecasting. You know that within 50 years, the population will either double or quadruple. This is why when they're doing city planning and urban planning, even the roads, they leave room for expansion to accommodate city growth. All of these things are city planning, urban planning. They do forecasting. And you are telling me that in a county the size of Grand Bassa County, with all the astute lawmakers, powerful folks, they can't use their own hospital. They cannot use their own hospitals. When my brother got sick, if it wasn't for a doctor out of New York that called me and said, we do have a branch of our office in Monrovia, but it's private. Mount Sinai. And he says, we have an extension in Monrovia behind near the Chinese embassy. Never heard of it. And I made a call and my brother went and saw this place. Said, Jerome, I didn't know this place was here. But they are all specialists. When they went in there, it was for expats. Because obviously regular folks couldn't afford it. And I said, wow. But this is what we are talking about. If I didn't have $1,000 to spare to take my brother there to do his prostate evaluation and all that stuff, I think it was like $40 or $50 for registration, another $100 for day, $200 for that, and $100 per night to stay. You got to stay for 3-4 nights. You got to pay for it. I mean, when it was done, it was about $1,000, but it saved his life. How many folks in Liberia can afford to cough $1,000 out of their pocket, US? So they bring us to every lawmaker in the republic. When you talk about building houses, building schools, they say my cardinal responsibility is oversight. Number one, representation. They go through all this, but this is oversight. This is oversight. How your institutions work, how your hospitals work, how your schools work. That's oversight. So they said there, oversight. I don't have to do this for you. My responsibility, cardinal responsibility is oversight and this and that. And they go through the recitation. They recite these things, have no clue what it means. And their wives, their daughters, their sisters, their mothers, their grandmothers are going to a hospital and sleeping on the floor. If you went to the hospital with one lapa on, you got to spread that lapa on the floor. That's how backward we are. And then when you talk these things, the folks say you badmouth your government, you badmouth your country, you badmouth your countrymen and women. Someone had laid our report, I think with me and you, somebody had called management or TC and say, those guys just reading my name in the paper all day. They just reading my name. So I told whoever sent that report in, if you don't want us to discuss it, then don't get in the paper. If you got in the paper for doing something good, like we just said, the president of the Republic of Liberia is meeting with the emir of Kuwait. That's good news. We're discussing it because it's good news. We are discussing our former president speaking to the United Nations about recommitting themselves to global peace. That's good news. And then if you are a deputy minister and you are accused for raping, we will put that on there too. You don't want to be in the news, don't get in the news. Go ahead.
That's a point also, Mr. Gayman. If you don't want to be, they said because the news, if you don't want to be in the news, don't be element of the news. That is very paramount. It's important. It's important. But that's all. These are very important things, and we have to go back to it. But you reminded me also. I wanted to know the stand of what is currently unfolding about this deputy minister alleged rape saga. It is important that the Ministry of Justice through the Liberia National Police, we have to come continuously and give some update to the public. Because what I don't want to see happen is that I believe people have already been very sentimental about this, including yourself in some cases.
Sure.
And what I hope is that this investigation, because this is not a play thing, if you Liberia will put it.
No.
The fact that this man is accused is possible. He perpetrated this act against this innocent girl. Mm-hmm. It's possible also he didn't do it. So the best way we can get back to this is to conducting some very great investigative
transparently. That's all it
is. And hit the science. Because if the initial report that I'm getting up behind the scene, that the man was not seen at the Ministry of Youth and Sport the day they alleged that he committed this act. CCTV is saying he didn't go there. And they did contact the Lone Star Communication Network to see if he was anywhere around, he visited or whatsoever. He said that is not also proven on that day. Now, so how do you go about it in a more on a scientific way to prove? Now, the medical report is definitively concluding that this girl was tampered with. And that's why the last one I said, tampered with is correct. But who tampered with her is the major question that needs some answer. So before you see to nail this man in charge, because the very day the Liberia National Police is going to move to charge him, meaning he's going to be remanded in jail. So, and I want to believe the reason why the police is not charging him, the police is skeptical on the evidence they have to move to charge. So they will have to be more transparent about this for me and open the case up. Listen, our problem we have in Liberia is that we're too gullible, and we always love to go by public perception. And public perception, in many instances, can come and get it wrong. And that's the issue. And I'll remind us of the late injured Topa case. We brought too much public sentiments to bear, Mr. Gayman, and that led to injured Topa. Unfortunately, they got killed under those kind of mysterious circumstances. Right today, we stay because I expect the Supreme Court. They went to the court, the lower court. I think it was Criminal Code A. The Criminal Code A. They went there and the form hands with them, and Mali Tukba guilty, and they were remanded at the Sub Beach prison. But shockingly, in 2010, the Supreme Court ruled. Finally, the Supreme Court ruled that all of the application whatsoever, they reviewed the case document, all those things, and the Supreme Court found those who were not guilty, that the lower court did not apply the basic evidence, and the ruling was not involved. So they hence within Amadi Tukpa or whosoever, they are free. Now, the next question is that who killed the late injured Tukpa? Who did? Who killed that innocent girl? Innocent 16-year-old girl who killed her. Now, it was alleged that she may have committed suicide. Was it a suicide or was it a homicide? If it was a homicide, up to now, I don't think we will ever get to know who is the perpetrator. Because the laws of our country, the higher court exonerated these people that they didn't get involved into this. So I'm saying this to say, Mr. Gayman, that sometimes we should get rid of personal feelings and the way we want to see things, and it's not the way it's applied in the code of law. So that is the problem we always face. And again,
Let's
we shouldn't be that way. So I will hope that the police will be transparent and be more or less expeditious. They move through this case.
let's move that. Let's segue into segue on crime. We on crime here. We have the Chief Justice's son named in controversial magistrate pick. Judges warned of nepotism. Uh, and you got to encourage this, that when you are in a profession and someone is trying to bring disgrace or dishonor to your profession, sometimes I think Honorable Pewee, you will agree that if the person is acting undiplomatically from your training, especially if the person has gone through the training process or processes, foreign service, the whole 9 yards, and that person is doing things on their own, you know that person have gone rogue. And if that happens, you got to say, you know what, this is not how we behave here. So this one here was written today. Liberia Chief Justice Yami Kwekwe Bese is facing backlash after his son, a law student with no formal judicial training, was recommended for appointment as a magistrate, fueling accusation of nepotism. In a strongly worded communication to President Joseph Yuma Boyka, the National Association of Trial Judges, led by its president, Judge Nancy F. Sammy, expressed alarm over what is described as a troubling trend of bypassing formal judicial training in favor of political and personal influences. I have to give it to this woman, Honorable Pewee.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if Yami was able to target her also.
Yes.
Moving on, but I don't think he's going to dare try it. Listen, Beza has just proven to us that he's very incompetent, and someone that led before that, one of the lawmakers before came out and said that he's someone that normally he's an alcoholic and other things. So
Yeah.
in that tune, right? I don't know if you're in normal sense to really do that. And the Supreme Court before knew a lot of senior lawyers in that country, Michael Jones, the Ben and other things. You have to follow the ethical procedure of the higher court. It's ethically bound. So I don't understand why will you come as a chief justice of the country, you're trying to suspend someone just to bring in your son that is incompetent, that is unqualified. It's quite unfortunate. There's no experience, no basic qualification, and then you allow that to happen. That's a serious sign of corruption. You want to bring incompetent and corrupt chief justice like that? You don't think he will set the country up one day?
That's right. That's
You don't
right.
think you're talking about and corrupt allegedly, because it's alleged to have been he's very corrupt. And he just exhibited it. That's another corruption. That's malfeasance. That's complete malfeasance. And this we have to listen. And it's good that the Trial Judges Association stood firm this time around and challenging him by writing the president office. And I would hope that there be some judicial review, and it should be made to account also. And he believed down that he sit at that office, he cannot be he can be impeached. If he do violate the ethical proceeding of the Supreme Court, we can remove him for that. That's a cost. That warrant serious investigation. What's the motive? Yeah, what's the motive? And it's wrong. It's these are things that have been unfolding in the country, and you allow this kind of people to come and take those kind of natural decision. You go and arbitrarily suspend someone, and then bring in your son that is unqualified, unfit, and incompetent to occupy a position. This is troubling, and I think everyone collectively will have to come out and challenge this Chief Justice. And one of those before, I believe he's not even competent to be a Chief Justice of our country. He's not competent because he's just proven to us that he's not a competent person to be the Chief Justice. This is wrong. And we will have to be very straightforward in terms of doing that. Why will you appoint your son in a job that he's not qualified for? And appointing these people, you don't even have the right to appoint. You don't have the right to do judicial circulation and all those things. You have to rotation. That's what you do. I'm surprised to hear that he's appointing a man. No, I don't know. I don't know what's the problem. I don't know.
It is. On the other note, we have another headline here. Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala's son accused in alleged assault on house worker. We're talking about folks you don't want us to call your name. Don't be in the news. September 25th, Monrovia, a maintenance worker at the House of Representatives, had accused the son of Deputy Speaker Thomas P. Fala, of orchestrating an assault on him earlier this month that left him temporarily paralyzed. The alleged victim, Avin N. Jabet, on Wednesday said that he was attacked on September the 13th during a graduation party for Fala's daughter Kumba at a lawmaker's residence in Johnsonville. Jabba said he had been invited to the event by one of the legislative staffers, claiming that the celebration turned violent after a disagreement involving the wife of the staffers, claiming that the celebration turned violent, blah, blah, blah. The man identified only as Jala, also known as Mr. Yellow. According to Jabba, more than 8 men beat and dragged him outside in the compound. He alleged that Thomas Fala Jr., the son of the deputy speaker, ordered him to be thrown out during midnight hour. When I was thrown out, the group came after me again. I jumped over the fence, and that's when I saw Yellow coming. They beat me and handcuffed me to the generator room for the entire night. And he says Mr. Fala himself was present when they was going on. Mr. Pewee, these people are something else. How do you handcuff a private citizen to your generator for the whole, like animal for the whole night?
Is it? Let me probe more into this. Is the guy they alleged to have tie or whatsoever? Uh-huh. Does he work with the deputy speaker?
They say he's here. They say he worked at the house, and he was invited by one of the staffers.
And he was leashed to the generator for the whole night.
Yeah. After obviously, he may not have been invited by Kumba, but one of the invitees brought him along. And looks like they told him that he was not invited, he had to leave. And he may have told them, listen, I was invited by one of our staff or one of my co-workers, and they told him to leave. He didn't want to leave, so they dragged him out. And a scuffle took place. And the man handled him. This is he. They say he's partially paralyzed. So we have to ask our reporters to do a follow-up.
They'll have to probe into him more and get the facts.
Yes.
But if it is true that he was attacked and beaten via the order of the deputy speaker's son, we'll have to investigate. Nobody's above the law. If he did that, the police should move in and arrest him and interrogate if and only if it is established that is battery and it's wrong. We should not encourage those things if it actually did happen, and the perpetrator should be brought to book and punished equally so. No, listen, we should not have certain people serving as privileged individuals. It is wrong. We should be very, very much prepared and waiting to understand that we live in a civilized community, and our disagreement should not result into ordering to torture or to beat on someone. or treating them in those kind of disdain or in his meal manner it's unacceptable. And this does not resemble. It is all Liberian, right? These are
Yeah,
all Liberian.
Chi, let me welcome Honorable Victor Nagbe. Mr. Nagbe, welcome. And you are welcome. I mean, you are invited, so you can talk or we'll beat you.
Thank you very much. I've been in the back a little while, but not too long. I have. Let me extend my regrets for coming late. I had a meeting. I tried calling you because I was driving. I couldn't text, but
Okay.
I missed it. But it's good to be with you guys. I was following most of the stuff, especially I joined in when Myean was making doing his reporting from the Buchanan Hospital. So then the JFK situation. These all of these problem areas, they riddle the whole country, and these are the issues we talk about when we talk about governance. It is not always about the big issue, the big issues, the roads, the airport. Yeah, those are important, but these are the social services, the hospitals, the maternity ward, the infant, pediatric ward. Those are the fabric of our existence, and all of these things are porous. Everywhere you go, there's holes everywhere. Nobody seems to be attending to any of these things. I mean, what are our leaders about? And I still think it is a mistake for this government to be putting the development money in the hands of these legislators. And I really believe they are a major, major, major source of the headaches. They're not by all means, the only source of the headache, but they contribute to it, very, very, very significantly. You know, you said it. The president pro tem is from that part of the country, and I can tell you this: the story of Buchanan is the story of Liberia. Everywhere you go, it's J.J. Dawson Hospital. I'm in Maryland. And Liberia, we believe in proximity. The closer you are to Moderate, the better off you are. Imagine those
You're
far
supposed
from
to
areas.
be. You're supposed to be because we are 88 miles, 88
Exactly.
miles from the city.
Exactly.
But
It
the
is
city
really
is, but the JFK is in the middle of the town.
yeah, exactly. JFK is right smack in the middle, And so, imagine those women coming out of the delivery ward. The ward, the whole body is in a vulnerable state, and they go and lie on that cold, hard floor. I mean, there's no telling what could happen to them. Pneumonia. There are all kinds of
Of the
possibilities.
pneumonia, obviously.
Yes. And then when our people die young, we go and cry all day, and then we pay all of the money to bury them. It's a sick, twisted society we live in. And our government always fails us. They have failed us from time to time. We give them the key to our natural resources to help us manage our resources and make decisions on our behalf to better our lives. And they disappoint us almost every time. You said it. Almost all the major corporations imaginable, they come from that part of the world. They are ArcelorMittal, they're Lot, Golden Beryllium. All of these people, yeah, they pay into the Social Development Fund. Prince Johnson was railing against the immediate past government for the same reason, because they were paying these monies into the government's coffers, and the government was not delivering this money. And I know we'll have a lot to talk about, but it really saddens me. Sometimes, you don't want to talk about it because it's just like, we're just talking heads. You talk, and nothing gets done. Our poor people, they just languishing and just suffering. I mean, I'm looking at the woman. You come from delivering, you're sitting in a chair. What does that even mean to anybody? You can't even do that to your dog when it gives birth to its puppies. But that's what our people go through. That is what our people go through, and it is okay by us, by our government. You can chat off, jets, to jet set and globetrot all over the place and bring back nothing. All the lies from $3 billion from China to everything. You just come and lie and lie and lie. Just finding excuses to squander our resources. It is pathetic. And it's just disgusting and sad.
Now that you said it, because you were at a meeting in Atlanta with the president on his first trip, and they came out and said, we got all these scholarships from Georgia Tech. We got this, we got that. And it turned out it was never the case. So you drop names. Georgia Tech University is going to give us scholarship in this engineering, in that engineering, and this science. Everybody clapping, and then nothing. Then the next day,
Delta was getting ready to establish route to Liberia. You know, all of these pie in the sky promises. You understand me? You know, why do they even do it? You know, all these lies. You know,
Delta had a special flight to Liberia. They said they were going to resume direct flight to Liberia, and people were clapping. Then the Bassa people, I don't even know whether we got whole wing. They gave us $3.5 billion oil refinery in Grand Bassa County, and we were jumping all over the place. $3.5 billion. Bassa people were jumping. That's why last week when the people saw oil,
3.5 billion.
Billion, yes. That's what Bassa was supposed to get for that oil. That's why last week when the people started seeing oil on the street, they thought we were getting oil from the from the ground. People were dancing. It was oil from the Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ. A lot of these sing the gas tank broke and the gas flew on the street, and people are there dancing. I mean, we are Bassa people. We supposed to be sophisticated. We supposed to be smart. And those people were dancing, so when they have bucket, scooping the stuff from, just in case, Pewee, if somebody had just struck a nerve, the same thing that happened in Bon County when I truck people, you know, with the flame key and engulf everybody. Just imagine gas on the streets flowing. And people bringing bucket and scooping it up and dancing. You know, they thought they had discovered oil.
Yeah, you know, it's. I was just chatting with someone just now. Was telling me, when I come and say, you guys will have to talk. I don't know. I said maybe Gayman pronounced what he came up. So he was telling me we should talk about this drugs in our phone in Kalando, one of his thing or so. But the issue of those things about gas or oil, the people are more or less very, very concerned. You know, they believe that finding oil in commercial quantity is the end of our suffering.
Because you were on here, you said we have all black ambassador and our whole busy. So right after you made that big announcement, the next day we all
So to discover oil in commercial quantity is the beginning. That is the perception of our people. Even myself will be the beginning of the beginning
of the curse.
I don't know. It's going to be the beginning of the curse of the untold suffering, or the end of the suffering. So that is the belief. But is it. If we were to find oil in the country in commercial quantity, that's a country of 43,000 square miles. It's not a very big country. It's not a big country. But it's sizable also, right? Because but if we were to do that, and then we manage sell resources efficiently and appropriately, I think the resources can go across to make that country a small Paris, or if you want to call it a small Miami, if you will. If we're ready now, make it out of Miami.
Yeah, but even Miami here, we ain't got oil. If you got oil, you will be the real Miami.
Yeah, we can now be the real Miami and other things and move things on. But again, it is the stewardship of the country, and collectively, all of our politicians also need to go back. You know, I was just on the line with all this thing. You know, I go on the phone with one of the politicians in Grand Bassa County. And they were saying this news about the hospital. They didn't know of it, and they were immediately invite the health minister soon about this. I'm told the health minister is currently here in the U.S. with the president. All of them will be attending the diaspora conference this weekend in Washington, D.C., and all these things. But again, if the stewardship of our country is not as effective as it should be, there's a problem. And I want to believe the president will have to pay attention to a lot of areas, particularly the health sector and other the educational sector. These are two vital sectors that we have to pay some attention to. If women are currently facing problems there, and then sometimes we don't have, like Mr. Nagbe was trying to say, like the JJ. So I don't know how equipped it is, but I entered the JJ Doxing Hospital before in Hapo, and and the way the build, Hapo, the way Hapo was constructed, beautiful, seashore city, and they put into place a lot of infrastructure. But again, the maintenance of some of those areas, those referral hospitals we have in all of the counties, if we can just maintain these hospitals, I don't think our people in the local county will have some major health issues, right? Because if we can just do that and allow the public health individuals to deploy the requisite resources, because we have the medical aspect of it and the public health side of it, where we would tell the people how to go about managing their health and all those things. But the first and foremost, one of the major serious killer, Jerome, of our people now is this malaria and typhoid stay harming other people. Malaria, typhoid, diarrhea, chloride, and all of things. And these are preventable.
Preventable, exactly.
Preventable diseases, if you will, that can stop a lot of things from happening in the country. Do you know, up to now, the country got a very terrible rating in terms of even diagnosing people that are carrying diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that because most of the hospitals don't have those machines to diagnose people. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes somebody is carrying the disease, they don't know they're carrying this disease. And these are the way the world is going now. People are living with diabetes up to 80, 90 years.
Of course.
Right? Now, you just have to live chronically and listen to your health providers and all those things. But again, you don't have some of those things in the blood testing machines in the hospital and all area. And then you see the oversight from people that should be doing those things. Look what happened in Myean. Myean is, as you said, 80 miles thereabout. The last time I drove to Myean, I think I took an hour 31 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hour 31 minutes I was in Myean. So if that place would be struggling, but leave Myean, because Myean 80 miles. JFK for me will be having miles. So it's a problem, Jerome. It's a serious problem that the country will have to tackle before even waiting for the oil to come.
Yeah. We got two stories here that we need to discuss. I know we're almost running out of time here. Honorable Musa Ability, LPRC shuts down Spemex terminal over unpaid taxes today. And then the other one, I was hoping that Tomalin George would be here. This one, his mighty Barrow and IE are about to go extinct. Mighty Barrow and IE urge to seek responsible leadership for survival, or there will be no more. These are the two premier teams in the Republic. Go ahead. So, I was hoping that when Tomalin or somebody else comes on, so I could recuse myself, because this fight between LPRC and CMs and Musa Ability, it is all about politics. They're doing all they can to bring this man down. And I don't know if you read his story earlier today.
I did.
Okay.
I did. But go ahead when you let me not cut you.
Yeah. So what happened this morning by 4 o'clock? Someone called me and alerted me on this. Then I made some call before he even got on the front pages of the paper. So I was able to get in touch with Honorable Musa Ability, and he contacted me from Great Britain. I think
the UK,
yeah, he's in the UK on his way here. And honestly, I told him, I said, don't you think it would behoove you to return to Liberia to take care of this? But he said, I have made my commitment to be over there. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, the natural thing to do is you are under attack in all areas.
Right.
And I would strongly suggest that you fly right back to Monrovia and get on top of this ASAP. Right. That was my advice to him. But it says the tension has escalated between the Liberian Petroleum Refinery Company, LPRC, and Spermex Oil and Gas after LPRC management reportedly shut down Spermex terminals, blocking the movement of petroleum products over unpaid taxes and alleged non-compliance with new tariff regulations. According to sources, LPRC personnel attempted to operate Spermex terminal to enforce newly imposed taxes, but Musa Ability, the owner of Spermex Oil and Gas, refused to allow them access. Reports indicate that in response, LPRC allegedly broke the locks and blocked the terminal gate, preventing companies from distributing its products. Ability said the shutdown was unjustified, asserting that Spermex already had a billing and taxation system in place. They say they came to enforce the new tariff they just enforced. I am told, and I told them, that we already have a system in place. There's already a billing system. Why are they obstructing our operation? They have all their trucks outside. We will go to court, he told the reporters. LPRC management, however, defended its action, describing the move as a standard protocol when companies fail to comply with regulations. Once they comply, we will lift the restriction. The same procedure will follow at Comex, and they have since complied, said LPRC official. LPRC also accused Spermex of preventing a monitoring team from accessing the terminal, a measure that the company said is necessary to ensure compliance with Liberia petroleum taxation and tariff law. This is what they are doing to a private entity. A private entity. You have an established system on a contract already. It is being followed. You changed the law. You moved the goalpost last week. And you are not giving the private entity enough time to even readjust. You just came on and you want to overtake their property. You want to operate it. You want to do all of that. This is what I was saying. There's something intrinsically wrong with our system.
No, there's everything wrong with what they're doing, and I know Sylvester want to come in, but let me say this. First of all, you don't go to this is gangsterism. Somebody owes you something, and then you go and start to you want to operate their business. That's how you collect. When somebody owes you, you go and you start running their business. That's how you collect. Don't you go to court? Don't you go to court and get a court order? As a matter of fact, I understand Musa has already taken. You spoke to him. I didn't on this matter, but I spoke to other people. The case is already in court. 2, LPRC does not have. They're calling it tariff, but that's taxation. They don't have the power to do that. The legislature does, and some members of the legislature, including Samuel Koga, have expressed concern over the manner in which they are proceeding, and they have called for a moratorium on the process until they can all go and sit on a table and figure it out. So this story has a lot of moving parts, but to go and seize somebody's business and you want to operate it because they owe you, that's not what the law says. That is not what the law says. That's extrajudicial. And so when Musa and Spermex are refusing to let them, and they're within their power. And yeah, I agree with him. He didn't have to be there. Right now, the matter is in the hands of the lawyers because it is a court matter now. And LPRC need to wait out the process, let the legal process proceed as it should. Look, everybody who does business, you understand me, Jerome and Sylvester, at some point in time, you will owe the government in taxes, whatever. It is a normal part for course. It happens all the time. Now, as to because now apparently they're mixing two issues, you owe us, and then you are refusing to comply with the new taxation that we are illegally imposing on you. So what is it? What is it? So I think the groundswell is building. I read today the people in Nimba. There is a group of people in Nimba now who are getting ready to come out in the streets come October 4th. They're going to come out in solidarity with Musa Bility and the CMC. And this is don't call it is nothing else, but this is a politically motivated move that this government is making through Amos Toy. And the Honorable Bility has called names himself. So this is not me calling the names. He called the name of the vice president who and him are from the same county, who is supposed to be having his back, just like he has been having his back. He called his name. He called Prince Moe from Bong. He called Imani Nukwe from Margibi. So he's already naming names. And these people, the Liberian people will make known where we stand on this matter, but this is politically motivated. We were talking about the hospitals and all of that. This is how government functions. You collect taxes from private business people to pay your bills. The government cannot run everything. Government has always proven inefficient to run anything in Liberia. We know that. They don't run anything efficiently. I mean, look around us. What do they ever run efficiently? Look at Water and Sewer, look at LEC, look at all these places. So it is the private people, they run a business effectively, they pay taxes to government then is able to run. You know, so I'll give it back to Sylvester. I'll give it back to you. But this is nothing short of a politically motivated move that the government is making.
Oh yes. Listen. For me, always time to time we push for the right thing to happen, and you know, in some cases, we also strike the balance in doing things so not be overly moved by the way people want to think things or imagine things, if you will. But if this is meant to target Mr. Bility and his business, this is wrong. It's actually wrong. If it's meant to target him and his business, absolutely wrong. But again, I would say if the ordinary people, if it is meant for, if it is tax issue or taxes, if you will, then they will have to do the appropriate thing. I think the LRA is the one that handle all tax-related issue in the country, the Liberian Revenue Authority, and everyone that we should be making sure the guy things are called the Fair Business Act in other developed world. If you do business in the country, you have to pay your taxes, your own side of it. But if it is meant to target, I think the government will have to stop that you don't target certain people because they're doing business in the country or they're in the opposition camp, if you will. But if it is meant to pay taxes in keeping with the tax code of our country, the revenue code of the country, I think is the right thing to do, but it should be done by the appropriate institution, which of course is the Liberian Revenue Authority. I don't know why LPRC will directly get involved with this. I don't have the details on this matter. But if the LPRC is doing that, why are you ceasing the tank, or why are you doing this? If anyone is owing tax or taxes in the country, they didn't pay their requisite tax or they defrauded the government through tax evasion, there are mechanisms in which we can get to those people, because tax evasion is a violation of our law. So if that is the case, yes, you can move to act and correct course. But if not, if it is meant to single out a particular business or individual because his political alignment or political persuasion, I think is counterproductive, because it's not in the good interest of the national collective interest of the country, but it has to be done in keeping with realistic issue, not sentimentally arranged. So I will uprightly state here, if it is meant in that, as I just concluded, is wrong, and I condemn it. But if it is otherwise, then we should allow the appropriate institutions handle the affairs of their institutions.
Obviously. But, Honorable, this is what I was saying according to the newspaper here. It said the Petroleum Refinery Company, FRC, went reportedly to shut down Spermex, blocking the movement of the petroleum product. I mean, how do you go? You don't have a court warrant, you don't have a search and seizure, you don't have anything. You just go and you're blocking the folks and say you're not operating.
Yeah, that's another point. In the country is a country of laws, not men. So, like you cannot do anything arbitrarily and in a more arbitrary and capricious manner, right? It's wrong. There will have to be the time you allow the court system to develop into twing, right? If people try to swing or blink or try to arm twist the law, it's wrong because you cannot arm twist the law. The law is the law. So if you want to stop these kind of enforcement, the enforceability aspect of it will have to be followed by a search or seizure or some court warrant that will give you the authority to do that. So if you are the FPLC, you try to do. I don't think FPLC can arbitrarily take those kind of decisions on their own without having some intervention from the court, because the authority that you're using to do that will have to come from the judge. A citation from the judge or from the sheriff will have to get to you, and then you're going to use that to enforce whatsoever thing you intend to do, because it is now you got the backing of the court. But to do it in some manner is a miscarriage of justice, and I think it undermines the very democracy that we all fought for and we stay here fighting for. So if that's the case, it's a problem. But we will have to go more deeper into this to find out some things. But if they did that way, it's quite unfortunate.
I know we got by 7 o'clock. We should take few calls 7:30. We'll be off Truth FM, so we'll be closing it down at 7:30. But here, this one here, Tomalin George, I wish he's listening. It says here, the mighty Barrow and IE urge to seek responsible leadership for a revival. Supporters of Mighty Barrow FC have expressed concern that the club and its traditional rivals, the Invisible 11, are in urgent need of responsible leadership with strong sports management skills to survive. The spirit of the two falling giants in Liberia CAF competition depends on what happens next. So, Chief, I know. Tomalin, maybe he knew I was going to come up with this, and he decided not to come today. But if you grew up in Liberia, and if you are a sports fan, you are quite familiar with the story of Barrow and IE. Those were the two premier leagues in the report teams in the Republic of Liberia, besides the Lone Star, and then the third was St. Joseph's, the Warrior, and then Batman. Those were the four teams that during glory days, these are the cream of the crop. For today, for Barrow and IE to be in a position where solvency is not even being discussed, this is pathetic. This is IE and Barrow we're talking about. Not one of them to say, okay, Barrow is going, but both of them have fallen flat on their faces, and until they do something, both of these teams. This is a national tragedy. And President Myean, former President Myean, and again we're gonna beat up on this man called D. Zioga Wilson, who played for Barrow and played for the Lone Star. 6 years he was in charge of that ministry, and for us to now see that Barrow and IE is at the point of being dissolved. Pewee, I'm upset. I am disappointed. Most of the young folks don't even know who Barrow is because they are insignificant. This is a national disgrace. Wow, Pewee,
you see in the country today, the reason why you see a lot of young people and even elder people, sport lovers, if you will, are now gravitating extraordinarily to Euro-based teams. It's because of that. Our leagues, our football club. Before, I can recall coming out as a little boy in Sioux Factory. When there's a game, i.e. Barrow or Bamen or LPRC, when there's a game that time, you see almost everybody out of, because the stadium will be filled to capacity.
Yeah.
And everybody glued to their TV home. But then we were homeboys. Every time home, come from school, you have to be home and other thing. Go sit behind in front of our black and white TV, and then waiting for the game. And then you see one of the goal back beginning with someone our IE fan. I still a IE fan. It's going to running all in the community, go and still hot. And then when you hear go, you see the part of the community you are.
Yeah.
You will see the voice, that echo will reverberate around the community. You know that at the time, sport was very paramount. It was very important. I.E. Barrow, the league was very good. People will pull into the stadium. And then you will see people start building interest into it. The late Moni Boto would do music. Not Moni Boto, the late, what did now come? Not the council, was it? Rawato.
Mm-hmm.
The late Rawato, I think he was in the AFL. He did some music for those club, Kanyan Pepe.
Yeah.
He did some of Moni Boto and all the kind of line. Then it came with his son. He played music. So you could feel that sense of enthusiasm and the euphoria that was in the game at the time, because a lot of people and the former president of the country was an IE football player, and the way the guys started treating them, they would pay more attention to them. I think Yes Transport were one of the major sponsors of sport, basically the Visible 11 football club, Achibo Bonal on Camp Johnson Road. So you should see the kind of support that was coming into the game. So people move into it. Today, you don't even know the club called IE or Barrow or this or that or Bame or Kotoko or not Kotoko, IE, Barrow, Bame, FPLC, and all those major clubs that was tracking up. Today, the last time I was in Accra, there was a major game between Ashanti Kotoko and Asaho. Two major teams. They played that game in Accra that night. And we have just landed in Accra via Air France into Accra from Paris. When I'm on my way going to the hotel, you can feel the noise people coming from the stadium from Adelaide. They say you can see people spread from all thousands want to see the game. That's the local Ghanaian league. Thousands, Ashanti Kotoko and Asaho when they're meeting. These are two major rivals. The same if you went to Africa and others, their leagues are being the popular. The reason is that these countries have people that's a company that's putting some money, Mr. Gayman, behind those things. But we will not talk the politics too much to the extent that we don't push, because the government will set the stage. Other people in the football association set on stage to see. And I forgot he asked this guy on the show yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday when he was on the show? I forgot. I asked him what are some other plan to, and he said that because people are not really doing support. Big businesses that will, for instance, this big company come and say, like Arsenal Metal will come and say, okay, I will take on IE to support IE. This other will come and say, that's not in the country. That's one of the reasons it's not doing well. We have some problem, and we have to change that.
People you got to sell your product. If this is what you want, Victor, in Myean there, we get 30 minutes here. We could take some calls, but this is where we are. It's a product here in this country. Everything got a salesman. You have to go from door to door and tell them why being an affiliate or IE will benefit you. I have to make that case. Pewee, I know you are supporting Victor, you support Eric, but do you know that if you have the IE logo on your shirt, everywhere you go, people will recognize you, and you can even sell your product even higher than a guy who comes from somewhere else because you are the cream of the crop. That's how you sell your stuff. The same company, the same Nike that sponsors basketball, sponsors football, sponsors baseball, sometimes sponsor 3 different teams in the same league. That's what it takes. But if you are not creative, if you can't think outside the box, and you say the country poor, so what? When I was on the board of Pop Warner, which is like the junior league for the NFL, each of these teams, 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 each of these te they create their own money besides what they get. If they were able to do like the basketball, right? This team that my son played for, they call the Florida Elite. They were part of the major, they had sponsorship, but when they are ready and they say, every July 4th, we're going to have a tournament. And it's $500 per team to register in that tournament. Sometimes they get about 500 teams. Sometimes 100 teams, sometimes 50 teams. And they would do it over 3 different cities. All the gymnasiums are full. Can you imagine making that kind of money? In Liberia, has IE sponsor a league of its own, has IE call, or like you said, Ashanti call the other team from the major, say, you'll come to us this year and let us do some fundraiser. Everybody will follow. Who doesn't want to see Ashanti call play? And whatever they do, they call it revenue sharing. Whatever we raise here, half go to you, half go to us after we pay our bill. If you do that quarterly, that full fundraiser annually that IE will do, that should be able to carry her along. But they do nothing. They want all the Lebanese people to give. See Lebanese people to give them something. It's just begging after begging. Listen, man, that's why I was upset with Mr. Zilga Wilson. You are the Minister of of Sports. Your job is to go, if I were Minister of Sports, I would be hitting up all the leagues, all the premier teams, the Chelseas of the world, you name it. I would go from door to door begging. President, we are playing in the European League. He plays in the Italian League. He plays in all of these leagues. All the time you guys are going to the Middle East. Why don't you sell this thing? But instead, you're waiting for that one little budget from the Republic of Liberia. They give you $1 million, then you'll fight over it and nothing happens. Everybody fighting for per dime. Nobody does anything creative. That's why when they come to school here, they leave here and they go home just as they came. Very little they accomplish when they come here because they cannot think outside the box. So, ladies and gentlemen, we 7:10, we got 20 more minutes here, but we have discussed almost, this one, Tomalin George, I'm going to table this, but you want to talk about the what is it, Honorable Pewee?
Carlando.
Colansko, what is it,
Carlando. Carlando, yeah.
Yeah, let's end on that real quick.
Oh, yes, I think we'll take some time tomorrow to look into that. But
yeah, but let's tease it a little bit.
Today it was reported, it's been reported in the news that one of his tankers that do convey fuel, petroleum products in certain part of the country got arrested today by the DEA folks with cartoons. I know about 40 cartoons of
48.
28?
48.
Yeah, okay, 48 cartoon of tramadol. And tramadol is one of the major drugs we have that's destroying the young people in recent years in Liberia. It's a drug that when you take, you just have butting the iron pole.
Oh, yeah, the one that guy was doing.
Yeah, that tramadol. You see the male saying, boop, boop.
I mean,
boop.
just like a goat. The guy was doing that.
Yeah, the male goes like, boop, boop, you know. So it's a very dangerous drug. Say one of the tankers they got arrested today. But the sad part of it, he did an interview with a video interview with a lot of journalists today, saying that he has fired all his drivers, and then he packed all his truck. He packed them to a certain garage, but he doesn't know how come this person took his truck and carried the truck that he's. I mean, it's just on a little feature, but I think. Without saying that I want to accuse him, the drugs thing in that country, the former deputy, that poor man in fire that said people in government and other things, senior government people are into this. It's actually true. Or people in government close to certain people. It's true. I think the DEA should really investigate this matter very well. These are guys, and you see, you'll come and say, "Oh, these are the rich people in Liberia." And other things. I'm not accusing him, but they will have to do a lot of investigation because 48 boxes of tramadol. I don't think it's anything any ordinary person would just take in a car and want to do and bring up something up in a tanker and put it in a tanker for some reason. There's a lot of things that unfold in the country, and the drugs war in Liberia is not being perpetrated by ordinary people. The drug war is being perpetrated by people in high places that high beyond the name of business people, the news that business people, the news that had to pump most of their money, get most of their money out there. And how you saw most of it just came from nothing major to do. So the few business and they're pumping the drugs business into the country. So I think it's a serious thing that the Liberia National, not that the drug enforcement agency should really investigate, not something that they should do lightly to say, okay, this guy is connected and other things, because they will stop that and they will still be bringing the drugs in. They will not, but if you start hitting the big fishes, those are behind bringing the drugs in. Don't focus on the users. Those users are the victims of the very thing these guys are perpetrating. So I saw that, but I think tomorrow we'll have to take some time to really discuss this. It's a very serious situation that the press conference cannot settle.
And on Monday, we'll have the financial expert, Mr. Gabriel M. Carter. He says here we need to do a special section on the closing argument, discussing and dissecting the $8.3 billion investment our president and the country is talking about. So a person who has a finance background is going to be here to talk to us how that is possible. $8.3 billion, how can they help our folks, how they intend to do it. So he's going to be here on Monday. We got 16 minutes before we go off the air in Monrovia. Victor, let's start with our closing, your parting comment. Let me do mine. I want to use the I have to go. I've been holding back here for a little while, but we discussed. Pewee, listen, I see that it looks like you're under the weather here, but you have soldier on to be on here. We hope that you're taking some ginger tea. And
I don't know. Yeah,
that would be great. And
this is
a lot of fluid. Just drink a lot of warm fluid, and when you're going outside, make sure you dress warm, because this I don't know, Indian summer or something, when you think it's cold, when you think it's hot, it's not hot. You catch pneumonia easily. So it was nice, guys. Tomorrow I will be going to Philadelphia tomorrow. My flight leaves.
Oh, you leave for Philly tomorrow?
Yes, my flight leaves at 6 o'clock.
A lot of occasions, even the guys I will try to see if, but I've been having some tight schedule. I don't know. The Philadelphia trip, the DC something. Those guys
the DC one. The closing argument has a special invitation. You were here when the doctor said it. So those of you who are closer should go.
And they even send registration thing. They did registration all the things something up, and I think we have some level also to play some media role there.
Yes.
So those of
you who are closer should go. Then Victor and I said we will be in the Philly area. We can go to that one. But yes, this is an important event that we can't turn down. I think our presence will be there, especially when they first came in and said they have designated the closing argument as the platform of choice. So, Pewee, we want our best and our brightest there. So you and the guys should go there and represent. We trust you will represent very well, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
I thought Mr. Nagbe will come to represent too.
Yeah, he's the host on the other side.
Yes, it is true. The event falls in my office, the diaspora. But I told the president and my colleagues here that I asked them to have someone else represent my office. So we have very able people, and I think we'll be able to represent it. I told them already, because this event we didn't get to hear much about it until not too long ago, and we had already scheduled this event happening in Philadelphia. We've been working on this since I think July or June or so. So I told him. But let me wish you well. I hope you feel better soon, Sylvester. I myself, I battled the flu myself over the past week or two. But the best thing you always, I'm sure you may have, whether you're taking the Teraflu or that, but go to urgent care, get something. Those things help. It's a combination of treatment factors, but the new medication, the virus, you just kind of slow it down and try to mitigate the effect. But I'm sure you know what to do.
Victor, we keep getting people are
Yeah.
comment out our YouTube. We're now on YouTube.
We're now on YouTube, Jerome. I mean, since this week we haven't been. My son, who watches all, he's been telling a lot of people we're now on YouTube. I've been saying
we should be on the 4 major, but anyway, we'll talk about it on the other side. Thank you very much. I have to run.
Okay, so
the guys are coming on. Masaridi is here. You guys can take it from there.
Okay, all right then. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.